when you're running Hydroboost in a Coyote swap, or in any fox body for that matter, some people choose to run Hydroboost on LS swaps or track cars, racetrack, whatever. For whatever reason, if you're running Hydroboost, which would most likely be Coyote swap stuff, if you're watching this video, if you're watching my channel, most likely be for a Coyote swap. Well, you have to either run manual brakes or Hydroboost. Now, I won't get into that now, but let's say you're running Hydroboost. Whether you run 96 to 98 or 99 to 04, first thing you'll have to do is you'll have to move the brake stud here up. Have to remove the brake pedal, which is simple right there. Got to grind off the back there, and then you'll have to drill a hole about 5/8 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch higher. Otherwise, you'll have a terrible angle. The thing will come through here if you don't do it, and it'll be way too low, and it won't engage the brakes. You won't even be able to hook it up. It won't work at all. Don't even try it. So you got to move it up. Grind it off the back. If you don't know how to weld, honestly, I started welding like literally as a, like I have no welding experience whatsoever. I just do little things here and there. Thicker metals like these are a lot easier. But yeah, I had never welded before. It was always something I wanted to learn how to do. And I mean, I guess I'm decent at it. But if you don't have a welder, get yourself a little cheap one at Harbor Freight. If you're doing the swap, I mean, you're going to be using it. You'll probably, you know, a welder will always come in handy. There's a saying that says, I saw it somewhere. I don't know who the hell started it, but it said, when you have a hammer, everything is a nail. When you have a welder, everything is whatever the hell you want it to be. And that's true. You can make whatever the hell you want. So grind it down from here, from the back right here, drill the hole, boop, put your new one in there, weld it up. And you're good. Make sure you put your little hole dot thing here at a decent angle. Hopefully you guys can see good, man, because I got the camera on my head. But make sure you put this at a decent angle. That way you could still put your little cotter pin through there. These are my welds right here. Like I said, I've only been welding for maybe 2 years, and I don't weld every day. I probably weld maybe 4 or 5 times a year, 6, 10 times a year at most. I mean, they're not perfect, but they're not terrible. Like, I mean, I guess I'm kind of getting the hang of the settings on the gun and whatnot. I mean, I guess it's not terrible. Somebody let me know. I'm not a professional welder, but the penetration is good. So anyway, so the reason I did this is not necessary 100%. This is not necessary at all. But I wear a size 12 shoe, just to give you an idea, and these pedals to me are way too close. The brake pedal to the clutch pedal, in my opinion, on any setup, whether it's a fox body SN95, whatever, maybe not on the SN95s, but these brake pedals, brake and clutch pedal on the fox body, they are way too close. I moved it over about, I think originally from here to the outside was like 3 1/4. Maybe. I measured 3 different fox body 5-speed cars I have here, and they ranged anywhere from 3 1/4 to 3 1/2 or so. And now it's about 4 inches in between. So yeah, this I've always wanted to do it, like move it over a little bit. So I'm eager to see the difference. It's the same length, everything stayed the same. What I did is they naturally have a bend right here. So what I did is I used the cutoff wheel, and I cut it like little by little. I cut it right where the bend was at, enough to where I can bend it, angle it out this way, coming this way, and then I angled this one out to straighten it out, and it separated it about 1 inch, maybe like 3/4 of an inch, something like that, maybe 1 inch. So I want to see how that's going to feel while driving. It should clear everything else. Nothing else should be like obstructed with it. Let me make sure my camera's good. Nothing else should be obstructed, like this ain't gonna hit the little hump right there on the driver's side floorboard or anything. But anyway, let me show you guys what what the video was for. So again, this isn't necessary. I did this because I wanted to scoop the pedal over a little bit and see if it's a lot more comfortable like that. Now, the reason for this video, what this switch does in the control pack is it will plug into here, and it will allow you to, well, basically what it does is if it's not, it's like a little plunger switch. If it's not fully pressed in, then it will not send the starter request to the starter solenoid. If you, let's say you put your car together real quick and you just want to start it up for the first time. If you don't have this plugged in and you don't press it down, the car will not start. Everything else will key on, the pump will turn on, the computer will turn on, everything else will work, but it's not going to send that, I'll show you guys what that little click noise is too. It's not going to send the signal to the starter. That's what this is for. Now, what I've done in the past, I'll use this as a kill switch. Since it's already got a relay, it's already got a fuse built in through the control pack, I'll use this as a kill switch. I'll just snip it off, and it's activated by ground. So I'll use this as a kill switch. I'll put it on a toggle. On a non-GT car, I've put the toggle switch on a fog light, a momentary switch. That way you could click it on, start your car. Don't have to turn it off, nothing. It's not going to be continuously trying to crank the starter. And then when you park it somewhere, let's say you go to the mall, whatever, you could just toggle the switch off and that's it. But for this car, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it as a neutral safety switch. So without this thing pressed, it's not going to, let me move this way. Without this thing pressed, the car is not going to start. You can turn it, it's not gonna crank, none of that. You have to press that down. So what I did is I made this little bracket here, and then that, because before I could have made it hit the actual pedal bracket, but I felt like it was pushing down on the switch like this before it would push it in. So it was like pushing it down and then pushing it in. Oh damn, I hate when it does that thing. So yeah, that's why I made this one here, and I kind of bent it a little bit. That way it's always even pressure on the little toggle switch there, see? So the reason it clicks like that, like it just did, is because it'll like kind of self-adjust. If you're over pushing it in, for example, like right here, it's a little further out than it needs to be. So when you do like that, it'll click and then it'll kind of self-adjust itself. That way you're actually pressing it in all the way. See? So these are 5-speed pedals out of a whatever foxbody, whatever year, 87 or 93 or whatever. And what I did is in stock form, it has some type of I think it's a neutral safety switch that's mounted here. Now, I probably spent a little bit more time than I should have on this, but let me see, I'll take it off real quick. This little piece right here, made sure it was flush with it, and then oh, I actually put it upside down, I think. Oh yeah, because it's supposed to not hang out on this side. So anyway, I gotta flip this around. But anyway, that, and then I made this little metal plate thing out of a caliper anti-moan little, or the yeah, the little anti-rattle clips on the rear caliper. And then, yeah, screwed it down like that. These were the original nuts that were on here. And then I just got some skinny screws that would fit through there. So, yeah, this will be the neutral safety switch. You don't have to have this if you're doing your swap. Like I said, if it's only going to be you driving or it's an automatic, whatever, you could just snip it and turn it into a, like a kill switch, basically. Put a toggle switch in between there, hook one end. It's only 2 wires, hook one end, both ends to the toggle switch, and there you go. It won't start unless it's on, and it's not going to remain on. So this goes, like I said, this goes here, whoop, and then every time you, whenever you start the car, you'll press the clutch down and make that little thing right there, whoop, press it down, and it'll allow the starter to engage and allow it to send the signal. Like I said, you don't have to do all this. This is unnecessary. I just did this, like I said, to separate the pedals a little bit more because they're way too close. But this piece here, you don't have to do all this. If the pedals you got don't have the bracket, you can find other ways to mount this thing. You can zip tie it up. Just make sure it's completely pressed down. Or it, see, look, right there, it like self-adjusts. That way it won't... that way it won't like break this little plunger right here if it's pushing it too far in. So there we go. So yeah, that's see, there it goes. I put a little line on there to make sure it was actually pushing all the way in. That'll go there, or you can put it over here. That's where your clutch quadrant goes or whatever. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Again, that's not necessary. You can put this here. This isn't even necessary either. But this 100% necessary if you are running Hydroboost. Some of the manual brake kits even come with like a different set. I know the Maxim Motorsports kit, they give you a whole new pedal that'll look different, and then it'll have like it even has different locations to mount it, and it has a bunch of different holes down here also, so you can mount the pedal a little bit higher, a little bit further out, or whatever you want to do. But yeah, this is 100% necessary if you're doing Hydroboost. If you're not doing Hydroboost, you're going manual brakes, then yeah, there's kits that don't require that, but you will have to remove the pedal and then figure out something. When you're buying those cheap manual brake kits that are like 50 bucks, the reason they're 50 bucks is because you got to figure out on your own how you're going to make the brake lights come on with without the switch hooking up here. It might be too thick, it might be this, that, whatever, and then you won't fit that little brake light switch. So you'll have to get one of those pressure switches or whatever it is. So in my opinion, the best way is to modify this, use the Hydroboost, and you're good to go. This is where all the little brake light switch will go. Then I'll have like some little plastic bushings in between their little sleeves, and that's it. By the way, these things are getting harder and harder to find. One day when I have time, I'm gonna see if I could I mean, shoot, I might just take measurements of this one. I'm gonna see what I can do to make automatic pedals into 5-speed pedals. It honestly doesn't look that hard. Like I said, I'm not no professional welder. I've never had a job welding, none of that. I just try to do it, and I would say I'm not good at it, but better than what I've seen. I think once you've mastered the settings, which I'm not even close to have mastered the settings, then it's all just, you know, different materials. Thicker metals are obviously going to look way better for a beginner like myself. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully I can post this video up. Today is what is it today, like November 18th or something like that. So yeah, there you go. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Hopefully I can help you guys out, and there you have it. Good luck, guys.